Hi, and welcome to Creatively Yours. This is a flip through of a mini scrapbook album I made for Mother's Day. I made it from scratch. I used wallpaper. Let me show you the front and the back. On the inside cover, I adhered a poem about being a mom, and that with being a mom comes a lot of joy, but also mistakes. No one is perfect, but we do the very best we can. The poem explains very much how I feel about my mother. The picture in the top right corner is of me and my son, my 15-year-old son Pascal. I love him dearly. On the first layout, I used watercolors and pattern paper. The picture is of my mom. I will try and zoom in, but I'm still filming with my iPhone, so it doesn't focus. On the left side of the picture is a funny quote. It says, "Mom, a person who does the work of 20 for free." I thought it was hilarious. I used a rub-on. It says, "Smile, you are beautiful." My mother is on this day 66 years old and still going strong and beautiful. On the next layout, I used a stencil, a brick stencil, with some 3D paint. It's a pink paint. Pink is my favorite color. The picture in the middle is of my mother and her sister when they were young. My aunt is in the stroller and my mother is beside the stroller. On this next page or layout is me with my red phone in my younger years. The typing I made says, "I was always a happy child with my red phone." I loved my red phone. I used some puffy stickers and cut out some circle shapes and used watercolors. On the next layout is a picture of me at the top. In the middle is my middle sister and on the bottom is my younger sister. And the tiny words below are the three sisters. I made a pull-out tab. It says, "Let the fun begin." And on the back I did some journaling. I used watercolors and pattern paper and some puffy stickers. On the next layout is a picture of 3 generations on one couch. I don't know if you can see it, it won't focus. From left to right is me, my grandmother who died a few years ago, my mother, I'm going too fast, my youngest sister and my middle sister. And I love this picture. At the top I stitched across the line and used vellum with strawberries. I stamped a rose and colored it in with Inktense pencils. On the next layout is a picture of my mother. She's very religious. I typed a Bible quote. I used pattern paper, which I punched out, and used some flowers I fussy cut. On the next layout is a picture of me and my sisters again. This was New Year's Eve 2 years ago. I used some rub-ons and I sketched a flower and colored it in with Inktense pencils. On the next layout is a picture of my mother, the view of my mother's apartment in Almere in Netherlands. Her apartment looks out over the lake. It's very beautiful. I used a lot of washi tape. The washi tape on the bottom is my favorite. Add a little confetti to each day. And I made a shaker pocket with sequins. The next layout I'm very proud of. The picture is of a picture I made cross-stitched for my mother. I used pattern paper which I stitched with hearts, and I used embossing powder, the pink one of course. I used some thread, I used some flowers, some puffy stickers, and lace. I love it. The next layout is kind of funny. I made a picture of me in Snapchat. A few years ago I went to Florida, to Disney World, and bought some Disney scrapbook papers, and this is the first time I'm using them. I love them very much. On the next page is a picture of me at the bottom right, and my youngest sister at the bottom left, and my mother behind us. We had a very good laugh. In Dutch we say slappelach. It explains how you almost pee your pants when you're laughing. My little sister is very good at saying things and going strong with it, at the point you almost pee your pants. On the next layout is a picture of me and my sisters. Again, this was Christmas 2 years ago. We were acting funny. Love this picture. The saying says, the love of a family is life's greatest blessing. I think that is really true. I used some stamped flowers and some gold paper, which I cut out with my Big Shot. On the next layout is a picture of me. This was the first time, Christmas 2 years ago, when I was laughing out loud. I used some die cuts and some wood veneer bird and a camera. And I typed out some journaling about how it took a while before I was happy again. And the final layout is a collage of 4 pictures. I hope the glare isn't too much. The first one is my sister, my middle sister, and me last Christmas. The next one is of my son, my niece, and my nephew. They were water skiing at the lake outside my mother's house. The bottom picture is of me and my little sister, my middle sister, when we were young. And the last picture is my mother, who had her first 3D experience, which was rather hilarious. Sorry. So this was my flip through. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.